making every day so that I can share with you. If you find value in this video, kindly hit that subscribe button, comment, tell me what you think about the video, and let's grow together. Now in today's lesson, again it is a basic lesson for those who are starting out, because I believe, to be honest, I believe that most of us, we don't even know the very basic, but we know the strategy and all that risk management, but we don't even know the basics. So that is why I want us to lay the foundation. Even if you know the strategy, it is always good to look back and say, okay, I know this one, I don't know this one, I never started from this place, but it's okay. So this is not a video for those people who have 3 years experience, 10 years. No, it is not for those people. It is for those people who are starting out. And I believe most of us, we never started with the introduction. We started with knowing the strategy. So from the topic, of course, you can see I want us to look at the very part of the introduction part. Now, when you hear the term forex, what do you think? Like, what do you think it means? Because at the end of the day, if you are to do this thing for lifetime, then you have to understand what it simply means. Okay? And from the simple term, the way it just looks like, it simply means it is foreign. It simply means it is foreign exchange. It is the exchange of, like, it is foreign exchange. It is the exchange of one currency to another. So this term, it comes from the word foreign, then exchange. You see the first three letters simply mean foreign, then you add the E and X, meaning the exchange. For example, when you move from your country and maybe you go to the US, of course, you will not use your currency. Your currencies will not be of any value to you there. So you have to convert the currency that you use to be given the currency that you're going to use in that country for your business. And that simply means you have already traded, like you have already exchanged your currency. So those people who always say it is a scam, I don't understand. Then it means you cannot travel, because if it is a scam, then you cannot exchange your currency to another currency depending with the current rate of that currency, because at the end of the day, again, it is not exact amount, so it keeps on changing. So today you can exchange the rate of maybe the dollar to the Kenyan shillings at 130, tomorrow at 125, another time at 130. So it is not exactly the same amount, so it keep on changing, and that is why we are saying it is the exchange of one currency to another. And remember, this is one of the biggest market that every day is traded. Like, I don't know if this market can ever like go broke. It is one of the biggest market. As long as we are exchanging currency, I don't think there is a day this market will ever go broke. So apart from learning this currency, of course you have to understand again, why do we have the currency structure? Because as long as we have the currency, then we must have the currency the currency structure. The currency structure. It is good to know this thing, because structure. It is good structure. It is, have I written the word well? It is good to know this thing, because at the end of the day, you realize, like, the very basic is so important, and that is why we have to know these things. Okay, so when I come to the currency structure, let me try and draw a table here. This is what I mean. We have the country here. We have the country. Let me write in the using the small letters. Sorry. We have the country. Then we have the currency, so that you can understand what I'm trying to say. Currency. And lastly, we have the code, so that you can understand what I'm trying to say, to mean by the term currency structure. Let me put it red. I want it to be colorful. So when you come to the country, we have so many currencies here. By now you should have already known 2, 3, or 4, but you're coming to that. So for example, if we have the USD, of course the country we shall call it the US. Don't know if you understand. If you have the country as the United States United States, then the country we call it the US. Okay, then what is their currency? Then their currency should be the dollar. And lastly, their code. Now the code is the one we call it the USD. That is why when you come to the market, you find that there are 3 letters. So that is why every time you come to the market, you find we have the USD, AUD, we have the card, we have the 3 letters. So all of this one, it means that we must have the country followed by the currency and the code. That is why at the end of the day, we have this. We have the country as the US, then their currency is the dollar, and the code we have the USD. Even if you have the GBP, the country will be GB. Then we have their currency as the pound, and the code it will be GBP. You see, even if you have the JPY, the country will be JP, and the currency it will be Y, meaning the yen, and the code it will be JPY. Let me write again so that you can understand what I'm saying. If it is JPY, we have the Japanese, we have the Japanese, then their currency we call it the yen, and lastly the code we must have the 3 letters which will be the JPY. All the currency, you can just go through all the currency that you know and try to make a table so that you can practice and understand why do you have the USD JPY. It is simply because it is the structure of the currency. Okay, I don't want to make the video again too long. From there, then you must understand we have major currency, and by now I hope I'm laying the foundation. We have the major currency. We also have the we have the major currency. We have the After the major currency, we also have the cross currency and the exotic currency. We have the number one, we have the major currency, then we have the cross, and lastly we have the exotic. And I want us to look at them one by one. Okay, so I want us to look at this currency one by one. And the first one I've said we have the major. We have the um, major currency. When you hear the term major currency, of course, in your mind you should start by thinking, okay, this simply means it is that currency that it has one of the major currency. It is the biggest currency that is mostly traded, and in this major currency, they are 8. They should be. Let me write in the small letters. Sorry. Let me write using the small letters. Um, they are 8. There are 8 of them. Let me write color black. There are 8 of them, and this currency, they are USD. Of course, USD should be there, followed by EUR. What do you think that one means? Of course, I will tell you the meaning. Then we have another one, CHF. Then we have another one, we call it AUD, or you can call it Audi. Then we have another one, CAD, or you can call it CAD. Then we have another one, we call NZD. Then we have another one, GBP. I know that one is common because of the London session. And the last one, JPY. Those are the major currency that they are mostly used in the market, meaning they are very stable. You can use this currency pairing with another pair. When I mean a pair, I mean you cannot trade USD alone. Of course, you have to combine. Like you can just say you have trading Euro USD. So that is a pair because it simply means two. A pair means two. So you have to trade when you have, like you can trade when you have these two, we call it a pair. But of course you don't start with USD. No, you don't start with USD. You start with Euro USD for them to mean, for them to make it to be a pair. But you cannot trade with one. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. You cannot trade when it is one. It has to be a pair for it to be complete. Okay, so now the full meaning of each and every currency here, because you said the code, we are using the three letters. Of course, they must have the meaning all of them. And the first one, the USD, it simply means United States dollar. The USD, this one, the first one, it simply means United States dollar. And the second one, the euro, it means Eurozone, Euro or European, it depends the way you want to pronounce it. Then the third one, this one, the CHF, it simply means Switzerland, France. And then this one, AUD, it simply means Australian dollar. You see, they're not hard. The only one, the hardest to pronounce, I think it is the CHF. Then we have the AUD, Australian dollar. The card, it simply means Canadian dollar. NZD simply means New Zealand dollar. GBP, the one that I love the most, simply means the Great Britain pound. And JPY simply means the Japanese yen. Sorry, those are the major currency that you must know. Whenever you come into the market, you will see this currency a lot. You will see them a lot, and you have to get used to having them as your partner. I don't know, as your partner, as your trading buddies. You have to know them like at the tips of your finger, and from there, at least now that you know we have the major currency, we also have a currency that called the cross currency. Okay, we have the cross currency. I've said these are the major currency, and this major currency, remember, you have to trade them with the USD. Any currency here, let me write this one, cross currency. Remember, when you come to this this major currency, they have to go with the USD, because at the end of the day, USD will always be the king, if I can just put it like that. Sorry, any currency that has the USD, we have a USD CHF, Audi USD, USD card, NZD USD, GBP USD, USD JPY, all of these one, as long as they have the USD, we call them the major currency. But these are among the most traded currency. So that is why we are saying they are the major, because they have the USD, meaning because the USD, it is very stable. That is why we are saying they are the major currency okay. And from there, that is where now we go to the cross currency. Now when you come to this cross currency, in this type of a currency, in this type of a currency, it is this currency that they don't have the USD as the major currency. Remember the first one, we have said the major, they have the USD as the major currency. But now when you come to the cross currency, they don't have the USD as the major currency. I don't know if I'm giving out the point as like you can understand what I'm trying to say. In the cross currency, they don't have USD as their major currency. Okay, let me write for you, because I want you to take the notes and understand. They don't have USD as major currency. That is why we are saying they are cross. A good example of that, we can have the Euro GBP. We can have Euro JPY. There are so many Euro JPY. Another good example, we can have card JPY, card JPY. We also have like GBP, card GBP, card, we have euro card. There are so many GBP out there. As long as we don't have the USD in the picture, we call them the cross currency. Okay, and the last one, we have the exotic. This one I don't think you have to concentrate, but it is also good for you to just know, because knowing is not bad. Exotic currency. And in this type of a currency, of course, these are the emerging, like they are coming up. If I can say, they're coming up, and they are very volatile by day. I will not advise anyone to ever look at this currency, especially if you are starting out. Don't even pay attention, because they are very volatile, and we call them, they are emerging, like they are new, if I can just call them like that. They are the emerging currency, and a good example of them, but I don't even want you to pay attention to them. We have like the USD versus the South African rand, but I don't like, I'll not advertise for you to ever pay attention to any of this, but at least know in the market we have three major currency. We have three types of them. We have the major, we have the cross, and the exotic. And for it to be called a major currency, it must have the USD. It must have the USD. Like I've said, you cannot say USD euro, but you can say euro USD. You can say USD CHF. You can say Audi USD, USD card, but you cannot say card USD, because at the end of the day, the value of the USD will always be greater. Okay, then we have NZD USD, GBP USD, we have USD JPY. We don't have JPY USD. No, like it sounds funny, but the way it is pronounced, we call it JPY USD. And again, remember, when you are starting out, pairs like the JPY, can you just stay away from such pairs, because they are very volatile. Like they can just move even like 500 pips, especially during the news. So you have to stay away from such pair. And if you are a beginner, pairs that you have to look pairs to watch if you are just starting out, pairs to watch. This is just, but like, let me just say, like a bonus, pairs that you can be comfortable looking at. You can look at GBP USD. Then another pair you can have like Euro USD. You can have another pair like Audi USD. And lastly, you can have NZD USD. Why do I say you can have this pair if you are starting out? It is simply because these pairs here, they share the USD. Can you see the common thing? They have the USD and they are sharing. So whenever you know, if the GBP USD is buying, of course they will not move at the same time. But at the end of the day, all of this one, they will still follow each other, because they share the USD. And you know, this pair, as long as the USD is buying or the USD is selling, so you cannot be doing their pairs that they go opposite with this one. But if you are just starting out, if you want to analyze the market, if you know the direction of the GBP USD, of course Euro USD will always follow that direction. And that does not mean now you just have to trade anyhow. You have to combine with the session, because of course we have the sessions in the market, and it is up to you to know when do we when do we trade this session, when am I supposed to be trading, when is the right time to enter the market. It is up to you to understand all those things. Okay, so I really hope you've learned something. I hope you've learned something from this video, because this is the very basic thing that you have to understand. If you don't understand the very basic, the structure, the major pair, those pair that I'm supposed to trade, those pair that I'm not supposed to trade, then you still have a hard time. Okay, so I hope you go practice these pairs. Look at them. Look at how they relate with one another. Look at how they are moving, especially those I've said, the GBP USD, Euro USD. Look at those pairs and look how they behave. If the GBP USD is selling, Euro USD will be selling or will sell at the end of the day. So thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you have enjoyed. Until next time, bye.